So a little stat for y'all. Since 2006, Central Texas has produced at least one state champion in every year but one. That year was 2020. Obviously, a lot of strange things happened in 2020, as we all remember. Last year, we had one champion in China Spring. The year before that, we had three: China Spring, Lorena, and Live Oak on the 6-man level. Our area record came in 2017. Of teams that we still cover, there were 4 state champions. If you sort of stretch out the area a little bit and maybe some schools we used to cover, you could throw Rockdale in there. That would be 5. It's a long setup for the question that I'm going to ask, but how many champs do we get this year? And obviously, I want you to identify them as well.
Well, I think the big number could be 3. Like you mentioned in 2021 we had 3, and you can't ever overlook Mark's chances to win a state title. So that's one possibility. Abbott, Abbott played for the state championship last year, so that they, will be swinging for that again. China Spring going for the 3rd in a row. Now, when I say that's 3 that popped to mind, 3 big chances. I mean, I think Abbott has the best chance of the 3. China Spring, and I'm going to say this, and if the China Spring people want to hate me for it, that's fine. But,
I can't wait.
They've had a lot of good fortune on their side to repeat. It takes a lot of good fortune to repeat. I'm not saying they've been lucky. I'm just saying it takes a lot of good fortune to repeat. And they
will be missing Mr. Automatic. Thomas Barr has graduated. He won some games for him, some big games.
What about our dude that keeps blocking kicks and returning them for touchdowns? Did he graduate?
Gabe Watkins?
Yeah.
I think Gabe may have graduated as well.
Yeah.
No. We'll have to look that up, but
he might still be there.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to check.
But I do think those 3 that you mentioned are a good baseline. And then, is there somebody that will sort of step up and surprise us and be a state championship contender? There really always is. I mean, I feel like there's always somebody that, 2 seasons ago was Marlin, made it to the state semifinals. Last year, Crawford made it to the state semifinals. I don't know that they were a surprise, but we're going to have some other teams in contention. I think West will be very good again. So what do you say, DJ?
I think it's a possibility we get one in each of the classifications that we cover.
Wait, that would be every classification. We have teams.
No, I mean, like, in terms of just the ones that we cover the most, okay. I definitely think Abbott has the best chance to win. We're gonna get a 2A school, whether it's Crawford or Mart. 3A, like we mentioned, West has a pretty good chance. I really like Teague's chances of going deep this year. I don't know if they get a state title, but I do like just what they're bringing back and just their chances of going deep in the playoffs. And obviously China Spring, I was talking to Coach Beatty this morning, and they've got 25 new varsity players. So that, I think, does make it a little bit more difficult. But, like I mentioned earlier, there's just something about the Cougars that you don't want to bet against them,
Well, and you mentioned earlier that you were kind of struggling to find the word for it. Obviously, Chad used the word mojo. I mean, I think you could call it swagger. Once you've won for a while, you start expecting to win, and there's something to that. I mean, I think that if you can exude confidence, whereas the other team has maybe got some questions in their mind, that's a big deal. So I will say I'm going to split the difference between you. I don't know what y'all's numbers were. I think maybe DJ said
I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna go about 4.
Okay.
I feel like we might have one in each of 1A through 4A.
I'm gonna go 2. Chad mentioned 3 teams there. I'm gonna say 2. It's tough. It's obviously very tough to win state. I mean, there's good. Once you get to December, you're gonna face really good teams. But if we were to come away with 2, that would be obviously twice as many as last year. I would love, just on a personal level, would love to see the Abbott Panthers send Terry Crawford out. That would, as he called it, he said, that would be the Hollywood ending. He said, but it's really hard to do. He knows how hard it is. So, but that would be
they got there last year and just ran up against a really good team in the state championship game.
Yeah, they did.